Hi, my name's Noshir, and I just flicked a light switch. I know, no big deal, but with a simple flick of the wrist, I didn't just turn on a light. I tapped into a vast electrical grid which supplies power to thousands of people and machines all at the same time. Seems simple, but have you ever wondered where all this energy comes from? It's not from the light switch. In fact, this is the end of a very long path, which eventually delivers electricity to that light. It's easy to take for granted how much energy is required to create, well, energy.
Here in the United States, we get most of our energy from coal, oil, and natural gas. These resources are known as fossil fuels, and we use them to run our cars and heat our homes. We call them fossil fuels because they're formed from the organic remains of prehistoric animals. To create electricity, we burn these fossil fuels at power plants. The heat produced creates steam. The steam turns huge turbines, which then turn generators that produce the electricity that gets sent to power grids all over the country, and even your house.
Fossil fuels are a cheap source of energy, but they are a non-renewable resource, which means that once you consume them, they can't be reused or replaced. The bad news is, we will probably use up our fossil fuels in the next 30 to 40 years. And many of the environmental problems our country faces today result from our use of fossil fuels.
Things like air pollution, oil spills, acid rain, and global warming. Take into account that there are 500 million cars on the road and millions of homes and offices that rely on fossil fuels for their energy, and you can see the problems created as a result.
Burning fossil fuels creates carbon dioxide, which, if it accumulates, causes the heat from the sun to be trapped in our atmosphere. This is called a greenhouse effect. For several years now, scientists have noticed a slow but steady increase in the Earth's temperature, the effects of which we're starting to experience. You've probably learned about the results of global warming. Extreme weather, raised sea levels, melting ice caps, all this could have a negative effect on life as we know it, if we don't examine our impact on the environment. Yikes! How do we do that, Nosh? Well, I'm gonna tell you. We have to find ways of producing energy that don't pollute the environment or deplete our natural resources. These are renewable energy solutions, and they use power generated by wind, water, biomass, and the sun, all clean energy sources that occur naturally here on Earth. Which brings me to why you're here. Solar power!
The sun is the most powerful, renewable source of energy on the planet. In fact, all the energy stored in the Earth's reserves of coal, oil, and natural gas is equal to the energy from just 20 days of sunshine.
That's hot. In 1839, a French scientist named Edmond Becquerel discovered that certain materials would conduct electricity when exposed to sunlight. 50 years later, that discovery was put to work in the first true photovoltaic solar cell. Since then, solar cells have been used to power light meters, calculators, even spaceships and satellites.
The panels you're seeing today are made up of many photovoltaic or PV solar cells. They take the energy from sunlight and convert that into electricity. These PV cells use silicon to conduct electricity. The direct current, DC, created by the PV modules is converted to alternating current, AC, by an electronic inverter. The electricity is then fed directly into a power distribution system. These panels make up what is called a solar system, which can act as its own self-contained power plant.
The panel array takes up about 3 acres and generates enough electricity to power 500 homes.
Even cooler? These panels use a computerized tracking system to follow the sun as it travels across the sky.
Do you hear that? It's working right now. Solar power. It's noiseless, doesn't pollute the air, and will work as long as the sun keeps shining. And this is just the beginning.